The big question is it time to stop crypto and type up my CV and get a job? Is that the big news for today? Guys, obviously we've had continuation to the downside. What I do have is a wedge over here where we're testing. The wedge is indicating this lower low, which we know is really crucial. But right now, it's safe to say that we can see that the market is truly erupting down. Now, the big question that we're looking at, I think it's the big one. We all know that we had a pullback 2 months ago, and that was one of the best pullbacks to buy because a month later, everything skyrocketed. We had tokens doing 400%. We had Bitcoin, going up a good 30-40% within 1 month. And now the question is this a long stream to the downside or is it a quick push? And this is where the big discussion comes in. And I had this chart, which I've spoken about many times. Guys, I have spoken about this and we're aware of this for a while, but we have this chart over here following exactly the Wall Street cheat sheet. And remember, we spoke about possibly coming out of anger. And now we're at this area over here. And do we still go into depression? And right now, as you can see, it's literally following the Wall Street cheat sheet to the T. And that's the big question we have now. How could we invalidate this thesis? What would make us believe that we're not going to go into depression right now? What do we need Bitcoin to do? And if we don't do that, how do we prep and how do we make money? Now, the last 2 shows I've been teaching you guys and showing you some shorts. Should be making some good money on that. I do think there's a short-term possible bounce, but I do think there's a lot more blood to possibly come, and we need to take advantage of it. We have a volatile market. It is great to be alive. No more wasting time, and let's get into the show. Let's hit it.
Click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click. Enter the sniper.
Yo, what's up, guys? If you are here in the comments, put yo. I'm alive, I'm surviving, and I'm gonna make it. I want to know, are you gonna make it? You survive the bear market, you become extremely rich in the bull market, but 90% do not survive the bear market. I am here to bring you alpha every day. I'm here to help you mentally. I'm here to pick up the spirits because I know it feels terrible out there. But red and bloodbath, this is the big question. Huge bloodbath incoming, possibly. We have a perma bull over here, random man. I see he's coming. Are you spectating? I'm coming to sit with you, bro. Come say hello to everyone first. I'm coming to chill, bro. You've got to come say hello to everyone. I'm coming to chill with you, bro. Okay, you're coming. I got my partner in crime. Like I said, guys, smash the subscribe button if you're brand new to the channel. Hit the like button, get it out there. You can see I've been teaching a lot lately. I think Run's agreed with me. It's time for me to teach in these times because, come on, we don't have the most entertaining market. Is this going to play out?
I mean, it's hard to say it's not when you look at it like that. Eh? It's so hard to say it's not when you look at it like that.
Like, is this what's to come? Like, do you see any strong bounces within the stock market for the next 3 months?
I think Tuesday is interesting. Let's wait for Tuesday. Let's wait for the inflation CPI numbers. Let's not all get ahead of ourselves. No,
so I agree with this. I think what we're trying to discuss here is right now we can see that this is a possible play that's playing out. And we sort of prepping ourselves for this slow sort of move. But what could invalidate it? I think that's the question. You know what I mean? What could invalidate it, and where are the levels with Bitcoin? Because if we have a look at the current stock market, we did have
said it. Do you remember I said to you that day?
Go this side off screen.
Just go to the comments.
Yeah.
Someone said about the cake. Do you remember the guy that spoke about who spoke about the cake? I told you that day we ate cake in the office. Do you remember that?
Oh, the cake.
Do you remember that day?
And I ate the cake, bro.
Do you remember that day we ate cake in the office? And I said to you,
yes,
if you eat the cake, it's the end of the bull market.
And I ate the cake, bro.
And we all ate the cake.
So it's my fault.
Yeah.
Shit, it's my fault, guys.
I'm just here to spectate.
It's my fault. I do apologize. So what we obviously got, guys, lots going on. Obviously, tons of panic within the market. And I think this is a big discussion. And it's something we just got to put in our minds now that this could be a possibility. I don't know, and I don't think that there will be a new low. I do think we could possibly come near it. But right now, as things are playing out, there could be a depression phase. And ultimately, let's be honest, we came through a really strong downwards market last year. And now we're at that where we haven't really had a ranging market for a little while. And I keep hearing about this 2019, 2018 when I wasn't here. I heard about this phase where Bitcoin stayed at $6,000 for like 6 months.
Forever.
We haven't had that. You know, we haven't had that this time around after this bull market. We haven't had that like slow drip phase. And it could still be a definite possibility. So if I do have a look at the current chart right now, I do see a lot of the emotions that are printed on that Wall Street cheat sheet that we've recently just been through. And ultimately, we are missing the slight depression phase. Now, I do think the market is different. I do think the range is different. I think there's a lot more money in the game. But ultimately, this could always be an option of definite depression. And as you can see, like if you look at the cheat sheet, and I'll bring it up again. Let's get that side. It actually shows two tops here, like 1, 2 tops, like perfectly. And now you look at the Bitcoin chart and you see exactly 2 tops. It's quite crazy. It's quite crazy to see what happens. So let's look right now. So we have the stock market, obviously hard rejection 2 days ago when Powell spoke. And we came straight back down. And for me, this is a good horizontal support for the stock market. Reason being is we lose this level and the levels are quite lower. Like you're probably looking at around about a 7-8% lower than where we are right now. So this is an area where we're hoping some sort of bulls are holding this level. But as you can see, we did test and we're currently still hovering in the block. Now, there is a danger zone. If we do lose this low at any point, we are going to have quite a strong push down. And that sort of matches within the DXY at the moment. Slight rejection from DXY, but if we do have the stock market lose that level, we can obviously see DXY going up to higher levels again. Which is pretty good. I got some cash, bro, and I do like it to the South African currency. Like I actually make more. That's my only coin that's making me money. USDT.
This show is very depressing.
It is quite depressing, but I'll pump it up now because we've been getting many different shorts.
Too depressing for me.
Too depressing. Amazing. Now you can leave me to do my magic. So guys, as I said, DXY, these sort of things, amazing. 10-year yield. Let's have a look at that quickly. Also slowing down slightly. So what's quite interesting, and let's jump into Bitcoin here for a sec. So I'll speak about this again 2 secs. Possible depression, and what we're looking for now is what is the signs that are going to give us the area that we are going to go down to these lower areas, and what is the invalidation that no, maybe this is incorrect, and because half of the planet right now is believing this and they think that this is what's coming next, where could they trap the bears? Where could they trap the whole entire market if that happens? Now, let's zoom in and let's actually jump into Bitcoin and look at the 2 different areas. So what we ended up getting is we did end up getting Bitcoin losing this trend. Last week, we lost a major trend, and then we started acceleration. We lost it literally at this level over here. I'll even draw the trend line. This is why I love trend lines, because they're really good. If you look over here, as soon as we lost the major trend line, we started the acceleration. Then what we got is we came to the next important trend line, and we've lost that one. And now we're starting the acceleration. Now, the last line of support we have right now, where I think it might get a temporary little bounce, which I'll speak about now in a sec, is this horizontal. A previous area where we did come to the 21,400. We bounced the last time, and we did go to 25K. Now, the only play that I could possibly see that happens here, that we do hold this level, is we do have one of these patterns. And the patterns is possibly a head and shoulders. Possibly. This could be one of them. Maybe. Okay. Where we make a right shoulder. And if we definitely make a lower high at any point there, like it's gone as like the lower range. For me, the percentage of the lower range being tested is a lot higher than us breaking the 25K mark. Now, the way I sort of track that is it's very simple. It's actually making the charts are making really nice trends at the moment. And this is the very clear momentum that we're moving in right now with Bitcoin. And like I said, we have 2 options now. We have one support over here. Then we have one more that's sitting at 20,500. And then the next one's all the way to 19,000. And what you basically want to do is you want to take your Bitcoin chart and you want to mark out these 3 major levels. Okay, once you have the 3 major levels, you have the trend line tracking it down, and like I say, we can see a possible bounce on either one of these ones. Now, which one? The one we break the trend line on. That's the sad thing. That's the sad thing. Like, we want to say it's going to bounce here right now, but ultimately we bounce here, we do this, and we break. Amazing. A little bit more upside. Fantastic. But that means that that was the low. So we are getting to a point where the market can have a short-term bounce. And then we have the gaps. We have the small gap where Bitcoin loses this previous low. It will then move down to the low 20,000s pretty quickly. And then after that, we have all the way back down to the 19K. So it's very interesting how we're starting to accelerate very quickly to the downside when it comes to this. Now, let's go through the next chart over here. So I gave this to you guys yesterday, and it's sort of what I'm feeling right now. Reason being is I still think that this is because it's one of the last chance for bulls to really hold momentum or to hold anything that they try to create over the last, they worked hard. The bulls worked really hard in the month of January to finally get us out of this terrible market. And I don't know if they're going to just lose it just like that. So what I do think is we're going to have a small bounce over here in this area. And I'm still currently looking at this possibility where we now go up. We don't get too high. We probably get to around 22,300, 22,400. And then the next possible leg to the downside. And this sort of matches with many of the trades that I've been giving you guys. I gave a few trades. Some of them retested. Some of them are still short opportunities coming a little bit later. But let's actually jump onto the show trades over here. And let me just see if I got the correct one here. And short-term show trades. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, so if we look at, over here, these are many of the trades that I gave you guys yesterday. I spoke about Solana. Solana has lost support, currently very strong on the way down. It lost this horizontal, and ultimately there's that huge gap, right? And this is probably the gap that Solana is going to go full. Now, there is a small possibility that Solana does have a bounce with Bitcoin now. I do think, guys, and I'll explain to you why I think there'll be a short-term bounce in these areas. But I do think it's going to give you an opportunity to possibly offload on the next push up some of the bags that you're a little bit too heavy on, where you have too much risk. And I need you to do one thing. I'm just going to go into teacher mode just for a minute. I need you to take your portfolio now and decide what's staying in for 2 years versus what you're using this year to make money. Split it completely. So for example, whatever you say, if it's 70%, you're leaving for 2 years and you only want to add, that's fine. But 30% becomes a trading account. That account will always have stop losses and it's there to grow for the rest of the year. If the market decides to go down, I want you to make money when the market's going down. So decide with your portfolio today what you're using to trade versus what you are using for the long term. And the long term, you're only just adding for the next bull run. Because end of the day, it does not matter what you have to say. If you look at everything as a whole, I still think you're buying bottom phase of this market. You are not anywhere near the top. You're not anywhere there. Bitcoin, yes, you have this huge range, and I can draw it over here for you quickly. You have this huge range between $10,000 and $20,000. And I think anywhere you're building here, I think in 2 to 3 years, you're making a lot of money on it. So anything that you're leaving for 2 years, you are not panicked about selling any of that stuff. All matters obviously on your entries as well, but ultimately anything you want for 2 years, buying in this phase over here, your risk to reward is crazy. Like if I show you this basic tool over here, and I'll show you this, and I want to remind you again with Bitcoin. Okay, if you take Bitcoin as a low of $9,000 or $8,000, let's go to $8,000, right? You have a 60% risk. You do. Okay, so 60%, amazing. Then if you believe, you in Bitcoin, right? You believe in it. You believe that it's going to go to higher levels. Let's even go back to all-time high at 60,000. Look at your reward versus your risk. Yes, there's more downside, and yes on that, but still remember where you're building it. Your risk still way, your reward still way outperforms your risk. So anything long-term in these areas, dollar cost, and build your damn portfolios. The rest of it is your trading portfolio, and that must run on stop losses, and that you're trading with me. If the market goes down and it decides to do this depression phase, we need to know how to short. You can 1x, guys. Go to your futures exchange, 1x, no leverage, and learn how to short. Go watch all the tutorials I've given you guys on the exchanges. I teach you how to short. Go and look and make sure you know how to short so we can make money if the market goes down. Now, let's quickly, I'm going to update on these trades, and then we can get into what we're looking at next. So like I said, I do think there's a temporary bounce coming. I do think there's still a bigger short opportunity or offload section, but ultimately I'm waiting. I think Solana comes to $16, if not $14. I think there's still another strong leg down within these altcoins. I'll go through Fantom. Fantom, I still think there's a little bounce first, but I do think Fantom goes down to 30 cents, if not lower. Let's actually quickly look at the total 3, because this will give us an indication within the altcoins. So you can see very much we've lost it. And what this means is acceleration. And you can still see, guys, what we haven't done is we haven't tested. So this little bounce could make sense, but then there's still a big altcoin leg to the downside coming. And I look at dominance, and I kind of feel that dominance, it looks pumpish. Like, it actually looks pretty good for now, but it's holding this. And if it just does this and the market continues to dump, you're going to still have these huge altcoin catch-ups. Anything that pumped. I'm going to speak about AI tokens. I see someone spoke about AI. Someone says 12K will hit. I think 12K will hit, eh? Okay. Is Rand still bullish? So Rand only buys. He doesn't sell ever. He doesn't know the sell button. He doesn't know how that works. He only buys. And like now this morning, he's like, things feel uncomfortable. They don't feel good. Then he phones the guy. He's like, buy some of this. So he rides purely off of people's emotions, because he's like, it feels uncomfortable. I feel sick. I feel like no one wants to be here. It's time to buy. And that's why I suppose he's rich. Like that's the mentality of it, and the way he actually does it. The mental game, guys, that's what is the big part of all of this. So Fantom, as you can see, still seeing that leg down. So I do think there's some small short-term longs. So I got good news. If you've done Sniper School Cohort 1, Cohort 2, Cohort 3, in 1 hour, we're doing a live trading session together. So make sure you jump on Discord, go get the link, the private link to YouTube, and come join me. We're going to trade for 2 hours together. And we are looking for some short-term longs. So look at AAVE, same thing, small push up, another leg down. I'm just going to update on these quickly, and then we can jump into new ones. GRT, small, down. I think these opportunities here where we get to buy over here, I think they're going to be great, but depression shows a lot lower. It does. Gala games, small bounce here. To be honest, guys, I'll be looking for longs short term, but in that long, I'm getting ready what I'm offloading in my portfolio, because I do think the next big leg is coming. I think this leg that we're having right now, I think it's going to be a small bounce, but then I think it is possible offload time and time to protect yourself for the worst scenario. And worst scenario of that is we break the trend, and week or two, we can decide we are bullish, and then we can get some more risk again. But for now, you do have to prepare yourself for lower numbers. Link, I gave you guys the short yesterday on the show. You should be well up there from 6. You should be up some good profit over there. Small bounce, same thing down to these levels. Cardano, guys, this is still going to be a good long. I'm telling you, it's going to be a good long. Look at this trend. It's an incredible trend to the downside. When this breaks, and I'm pretty sure it will break soon, it has lost a horizontal. So I'm hoping that it bounces on this support over here. Maybe it even comes over here first. If that does happen, guys, I promise you, learn like quickly. And if you do have some money to do small leverage on it, like if you catch this long over here, whenever this breaks, I think you're going to have a really good one from Cardano, because you look at anywhere of where we go now. If we do bounce on the support and we go, I'm looking at a retracement of up to these areas over here. That's a 20-25%. Like, guys, you have to understand that 20% trades is more or less what you're going to get in a depression market. And you have to be thankful for that, because multiple 20% trades can pick your account up a lot. If this decides to go over here, I'm still expecting a push there. And ultimately, now you're looking at a 35-40% move. But for me, this is an easy win trade. If you don't win this trade when it breaks, then I don't know, like this for me, any newbie, anyone that wants to make money, this is the single chart here that there's many touches. And as soon as we close 4 hour outside of this trend, you long, you put your stop loss under the previous low, and you put your TPs at 35 cents and 37 cents, and you leave it. That's what we have to win together as a community, guys. Let's make some money when the market thinks. So Cardano, definitely one that I'm not shorting. I don't short now, guys. Like the next small push up maybe we do go a little bit lower today, or we do go test the lower boundaries. To short right now, your risk to rewards a bit terrible, but on the next little push up, to short there makes sense. These tests of these levels and these sort of things, they will make a lot more sense. Now, the next one I want to talk about quickly is, let's speak about the hot narratives, right? Because now we're currently in this bear market, well, not a bear market, but we're having another bearish leg. But let's speak about some of these tokens. Let's go through them. And the first one's Singularity. So I want to show you a lot of the coins, why I think there's some sort of bounce, but what I do think you need to pay attention to. And I think, let me actually jump over here first and show you these coins. Let's see if I have done it. So all of these tokens, many of them, I've given you guys the 4-step method, right? I gave them the last few shows, but a lot of these tokens are on 618s. So this is crazy. Like, if there is any last line of bullishness, this is the level for them to hold and to bounce. But if you take your fib from the bottom to the top, 618 is here. And I go through many of the altcoins, 618. We're on 618 right now, on the horizontal, on there, and RSI on the floor. We look at, look here, 618, Fantom. Like the whole market, 618, Theta. Let's go to Thorchain. Technically, if you have the balls in this level, like, this should be the time to load. Like, you know, if it comes from this, if you believe that we're bullish, this should be the time to load. Thorchain on 618. Let's go to Sol. Sol, no, not a buy. Sol comes lower. 618 is only here at these levels over here. So I want you to go and just use the 618 to see more or less how your token's holding. We have this in the golden zone between 618 and 786 on Algo. We have 𝗏. Hit the like button, guys. Smash a like, smash a like, smash a like. Yes, I am doing the strategy call today. Market's a bit red. I want to try get you guys, you know, some trades and stuff first, but I am going to do the strategy session. If the show is not tomorrow on that, then there will be a recording that drops on the weekend of the 3 best strategies to make money if the market goes into depression or whatever the market does. Look at 𝗏, 618. Let's look at Matic, 618. It's crazy. 𝗏𝗏, 618. Everything right now is sitting at the last levels. Now, I want to pay attention. I don't think it's AI time yet, but I think there's going to be one more push down in AI after the next bounce. I think we're going to bounce up at some points, and I think there's going to be one more dead. And I think if you miss the AI push, you're now going to get AI at 618. I was saying it was way too high, way too that then, but now you might have the opportunity to actually get some AI tokens at better levels. Singularity is one of them. We have Fetch, which is another one, which I'm thinking comes down to 618. So if I take Fibonacci, you take this Fib tool over here, you take it from the bottom to the top, and it gives you 618. And basically that is a level that I'll be loading up on some of the AI tokens for the long term. I think they're going to do well. I think they're do really good. Speak about render, 618. Dude, it's tough, bro, because we're sitting with Bitcoin still holding the 20Ks, and you have all the altcoins on the major golden 618 zone. Like, I know the uncomfortable will buy now. And that's the thing. You got to prep yourself for depression. But like, when it comes to buy, when else are you going to buy? And that's the big question. Prep yourself for lower targets. I do agree, and have some cash, but it's quite crazy. You know, because who knows? If we look now at the Bitcoin chart, and I'll go back to Bitcoin for a sec. You know, I am expecting the small bounce. Like I said previously, I'm expecting this little bounce over here. But who knows, man? Who knows if it breaks and it decides to go? You know, that's the big thing. So you have all the altcoins and everything sitting on those levels. Let's speak about ETH for a second, because I see ETH. Look at it to dominance. I hope you guys, any altcoins that were looking weak, you know, I showed you guys all the tokens to Ethereum. I hope you switch some to Ethereum. I still just think Ethereum is one of the safest right now. Look at it to dominance. Look at it to Bitcoin. Ethereum's looking good. It's holding well compared to the rest of the market. But who knows, guys? This may be. So I think for the mentality right now, I'll be dipping my toes on some short-term longs. I would. But on the next push up, and I'm here. By tomorrow, we'll know how high we get up on that level. It is possibly time to offload some of our risk and prep for bloodbath. That's what we got to prep for now. The 14th is going to determine that. When we find out 50 basis points, 25, if we get a 50 basis points, I think we're in shit. I do. I think we see a huge bloodbath. But I think for the rest of this week, I think possibly a little bit of greenness. Guys, if Bitcoin does lose the 20, let's go back here for a sec. If it does lose this level, you know, it can accelerate at any point, definitely. But I do think possibly a little bit of greenness for the rest of this week. And then I think we're going to have to offload, because if it doesn't go good on 50 basis points, I think we're going to see a big bloodbath. I think Bitcoin goes back to 19K, maybe even 20. I do think it still possibly holds the lows, but I think we see a massive hit, because stock markets, you know, like I said previously, I think it comes down. So guys, you know me, I'm bull. I love being bull, but and I do think we're bullish short term I do, but I think we got to play this safe now, because stock market, we lose this, we go down. And what they're saying is we probably can expect, you know, we're waiting for is the 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏, are we going to pivot at some point? People are saying probably mid next year. Bitcoin halvings mid next year, which is crazy. So I still think halfway next year is when we start the true bull market. I think the bottom is in this year though, and I think it may already be in, and maybe we go test those lows again, but I think the bottom is thing. So this is not the time. I'm going to say this again. You lose interest now, you're going to fall so far behind. I promise you're going to fall far behind. The market's going to wake up at any point, and you're going to be stuck, and you're going to be, are you a fish or you're a shark? If you're a shark, you're swimming in the waters right now. The fish are running. And if you run, you're coming back late. So decide again, what are you leaving for 2 years? And what are you trading with? If the market goes into depression, we trade the damn market together, and we do it and we make money. If if the market decides to pump, we trade the damn market. So sort your life out now. Get ready. Prep yourself for a marathon. See, my throat's quite destroyed. Prep yourself for a marathon, and we got this. Do not lose focus. Keep your mental health strong. I've been doing cold showers, cold baths, all these things. I know people say it's cliche and stuff, like, yes, but I'm keeping this mental time strong. It is demotivating. It does suck, and these sort of things. But I'm here to hopefully entertain you guys. I'll probably, I don't know, shave run or something to entertain you. Just be here every day and stay focused, stay strong, and let's make it all happen. I'll update you guys tomorrow. Let's see where the market's at. I'm expecting some short-term longs. If you've done school, come join me for the live trading session. And on this next push-up, let's focus on protecting ourselves, and let's do it, Banter fam. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love.